All right, we're diving straight into a story of love, betrayal, and some seriously terrifying supernatural horror. And trust me, it's going to make you question everything you think you know about who the good guys and the bad guys really are.
So this quote right here, it's the heart of the whole story. But is it a promise of devoted, passionate love, or is it a threat of absolute, no-holds-barred vengeance? That's the question, and we're about to figure it out. Let's get into it.
So let's set the scene. Our story kicks off with a guy named Mohit. He's a good dude, works in the city, but lives back home in the village of Bhimpur with his family. He's kind, he's responsible, and he's about to make a connection that will change his life, and not necessarily for the better.
Picture this. Mohit's walking home after a long day, and he sees this girl, Sugna. She's just trying to gather firewood, and she's crying. Turns out her mom is incredibly sick, and she's just trying to keep her warm. So Mohit, being the guy he is, jumps in to help her. And right there, in that one simple act of kindness, a connection is sparked.
And this friendship, it just blossoms, almost overnight. For Mohit, this is just a really nice friendship. But for Sugna, someone who's had a really hard life, this daily meeting becomes her entire world. He isn't just a friend to her, he's a lifeline.
Okay, so this is where everything starts to take a turn. Mohit, completely innocently, tells Sugna all about this thing called Valentine's Day. He explains it's a day where you confess your love, and you can just see the hope light up her face. She really thinks this is going to be her moment.
And this slide right here, it's a gut punch. You see Sugna on one side, holding a rose, all ready to finally tell him how she feels. And then you see Mohit's reality. He just used that exact day to propose to his actual girlfriend, Pooja. So when Sugna shows up at his house, she walks right into his engagement party.
I mean, can you imagine? She is absolutely heartbroken, and on top of that, publicly humiliated. He told her, "I just thought of you as a friend." But for her, it was so much more, and that is when she makes this incredibly ominous vow before running off, leaving everyone completely shocked. In this one moment, it paints a giant target on her back, making her the #1 suspect for everything that happens next.
And you might think, okay, just an empty threat from a broken heart, right? Wrong. That threat was anything but empty. Almost immediately, Mohit's family gets hit with a series of just horrifying, unexplainable events. Their entire life turns into a living nightmare. The terror just ramps up like unbelievably fast. On day 1, bam, his father is literally swallowed by the earth in his own field. Day 2, their food becomes a writhing, disgusting mass of insects. And by day 3, the youngest, most vulnerable person in the family, his little sister, is possessed by a demon. This is not random. It is a systematic, brutal attack meant to tear this family apart piece by piece. And we find out we're not dealing with some low-level spirit here. No, the entity is IBLIS, the great devil himself. That name alone tells you everything you need to know. We are talking top-tier, pure evil, which means someone out there is using some seriously powerful and seriously hateful black magic.
Shido's possession is really the last straw. It all starts with this weird package showing up, items you'd typically see used in dark rituals. That very night, a demon with huge horns appears in her room. When they find her outside, just sitting by a pile of dirt holding centipedes, they know they are way out of their league. This is a targeted supernatural assault.
So, what do you do when you're up against something like this? You call in an expert. The family is completely desperate, so they call a tantric, a mystical master, hoping he can figure out what's going on and, maybe help them fight back. And yep, the tantric walks in and confirms all of their worst fears. He's like, this is no accident. This is IBLIS. And someone is using what's called a Godi Kriya, a doll curse, to destroy your family. They've basically tied the family's fate to this cursed object. So, finally they have a mission. It's incredibly dangerous, but at least it's a clear plan. The abstract terror now has a physical source. First, they gotta find this doll. Second, it's been split in 2 to make it harder to find. And finally, they have to burn it inside their home to break the spell. And this is it, the grand finale. You've got the race against time to find the doll, and you've got IBLIS literally cornering the family in their home. It all comes to a head right here, and the truth is even crazier than the curse.
And they do it. At the last possible second, Mohit gets the doll and chucks it into the fire. As it burns, IBLIS lets out this unholy shriek and just vanishes. The family's safe, Sheetal is back to normal, the nightmare is over. Or is it?
So the dust settles, and everyone, and I mean everyone, turns to look at Sugna, who just so happened to show up during the final fight. I mean, come on, it had to be her, right? She had the motive, she made the threat, she's right here. Case closed.
But wait, the tantric steps in and points out one tiny but absolutely fatal flaw in that theory. During the whole chaotic attack, why didn't IBLIS lay a single finger on Sugna? A demon would never, ever harm its own master.
And there it is. The real villain was never the heartbroken girl. It was Pooja. Sweet, supportive, loving Pooja. Her plan was just diabolical and cold. Use black magic to eliminate Mohit's entire family, leaving him with zero ties to his village. He'd then have no choice but to pack up and move to the city with her, all alone.
When you look back, the whole story was a brilliant piece of misdirection. Sugna's genuine, raw pain was the perfect smokescreen to hide Pooja's calculated, psychopathic cruelty. Every tear Pooja cried was fake. Every word of concern was a lie. It was genius in a truly terrifying way.
And you can just see the light bulb go on for Mohit. He finally gets it, the devastating truth. He turns away from the evil he almost married and toward the girl he hurt so badly. He realizes her vow wasn't a threat of revenge, it was a declaration of love. A love so strong she would literally do anything for him.
It's pretty wild, isn't it? A curse designed to destroy a family and tear people apart actually ends up forging a brand new bond between two people.
So they find each other in the ashes of this horrible curse. They get a new beginning born from all this tragedy. But you have to wonder, with a family destroyed and a betrayal that deep, can a new beginning ever really escape the shadows of how it started?
And really, that's what you should take away from this explainer. It's about how a well-told story can masterfully play with your perceptions, making you suspect the victim and feel for the villain, right up until that final, shocking twist. And it leaves us all wondering, what's the line between love and obsession? And what kind of darkness can hide behind the most innocent-looking faces?